Good morning. So like I said in my last video, I observed that many of you struggled in the writing section of paper 2 because of some of the twists that IGCSE introduced. So for example, in the letter writing, you were told to write about work experience week. Usually, this kind of question comes in your formal writing. So many of you were not sure how to handle that. So this is one of the things that IGCSE does. They just twist questions to see how you're able to think on your feet, how you're able to adapt your thinking to different situations. And it's something that you should prepare for in every subject. It can happen in math, it can happen in admath, it can happen in physics, it can happen in business, right? So be prepared for this kind of twists and turns. It's just for you to demonstrate that you can apply your thinking in different ways. So it's a work experience week, but you're still writing to a friend, right? So it has to be as friendly as expected. You must personalize, you must create interest, you must use idioms, you must use contractions, you must do what you will do if you're writing to an actual friend, right? So, to illustrate my points, I'm going to use some of your letters to as examples of what you should do and what you should not do. Now, this is not to embarrass anyone or to make anyone feel superior. It's just for us to learn from one another, see our mistakes and improve, so that when you're given another question that seems to be, seems to be about a formal, idea, but still asking you to write to a friend, you know how to approach it. Some of us were quite creative. We were able to actually do it very well and was impressive. But some of us wrote as if we were writing to a teacher or to our parents. It was just too academic, too stiff, if you like. It was not like a conversation between actual friends. So my first example here is Chidozie. Chidozie was, Chidozie is a thinking person. He's quite smart, and I was impressed with what he wrote. There were a few mistakes. There were some words he used that should not be in a friendly letter, but the general structure, his approach was quite friendly. Let me show you what I mean. Now Chidozie wrote that you would not believe how strenuous my work experience has been. Now this is a good introduction. Why? So he used a narrative letter introduction, made it look like it was, like hot gist. That actually can work here, and as you can see, actually makes a lot of sense. My only problem is the word strenuous. It's a bit too big, too serious for a friendly letter. But the intro is very, very eye-catching, attention-grabbing. It now says, I have been working as a cashier in fish licking for a week now, and honestly, the experience has been good and strenuous. Now, these two words are opposites, so and should not be the word to combine them. But apart from that, he has given the background to what has been happening. Even though he didn't mention that it was a school that organized it, right? But he's probably assuming that his friend can figure that out. So the word and here should be both. And then again, strenuous is too serious for this place. But it gets more interesting though. Unfortunately for me, I was a front row cashier, meaning I was the first worker to be seen. And honestly, I did not fancy the attention at all. Now, fancy should be with a C, but it's a good word to use here. This is idiomatic. If you don't like something and you say you don't fancy it, it shows that you actually have native speaker level of command of English language. So now this also lets you know that he's a shy person, and implies that his friend knows that too. Each day I had to wake up by 7 a.m., which is not usual for us. As you know, we both wake up at 8:30 to get to class. Now this personalization. Immediately I got to work. I had to clean the cashier and shelves before reporting for duty, which was also tiring. On the other hand, now this is formal. It shouldn't be here. This experience has helped me focus on my working career to be able to tolerate both angry customers and pleasant customers. This is creating interest. It's telling you, or it's actually providing support. It's telling you why this work experience week has been good for him. I wish you were there with me, Sam, to experience this. So again, this is personalization. This is actually showing that he has his friend in mind all while he's writing, which is actually very good. So, in spite of the shortcomings, the overall approach of actually writing as if you're writing to a friend got him, good marks. The idiom, the personalization, the creating support and creating interest, they were all there, and he got 13 out of 16, which is decent. Now, a little better one, Toluwani. Toluwani wrote as if it was, it's an ongoing conversation between himself and his friend. At every point, he's making references to, how his friend would react, how his friend would feel, how it's basically relates to or concerns his friend. Like he said here, I'm sorry I didn't respond to your last email last week. Last week was work experience, and you know how my mom gets about these things. She took my phone and my laptop. Now already is creating interest, is drawing his friend in, is personalizing also. Today I'm going to tell you about my work experience. Now this is one problem though. You could have written something like, anyway, I thought you should know about my work experience week. This sounds a bit too, tacky, if you like. Now, we were first introduced to different types of jobs we could pick, and majority of my class went for business. I went for psychology because that's what I want to be when I grow up. So it's better to start now. The lady was very nice, and we got on extremely well. Here, it doesn't seem like there's anything much, but it gets better, don't worry. Although I was on a coffee run. Now, idiom again. This is how people would say it in an actual work environment. So that's very good. For every single day, it actually helped me because she said it would teach me to be more patient, especially with anxious patients. Each day I got to learn about how mood changes and how to handle tough situations. This really helps me because now I can handle your tantrums. Again, brings the friends in when you come to visit. She told me about subjects to pick in school, and I actually got to meet with a real life patient. I've learned so much, and this has really helped me with my future career plans. I'm 100% sure, and I want to be a psychologist. I wish you were there to help me. I was very nervous throughout everything. So again, his friend comes in. Right, so you can see there's personalization, there's creating support, there are idioms also. So and then the fact that his essay is actually quite enjoyable to read throughout got him 15 out of 16. Now Sarah Nasreddin, she didn't do too badly because now Sarah is beginning to write more than usually. Before now, Sarah would write like 120 words and tell me that she's done. But now she actually attempts to really, really build on her ideas to develop them with examples and more details. But the problem with this letter now is that it's a bit too academic. It's like what you write to a strict parent that wants to know what you've been doing with your time. It doesn't sound like what you write to a friend. So she said, I have been quite busy this week. My school organized a work experience week where each student in my class spent the week working in a local business of our choice. That's basically, repeating the exact words in the question, which is not advisable. I worked with a lawyer. I had to dress formal when I was going there. I couldn't just wear jeans and a t-shirt. Now this would have been a good opportunity for us to personalize. Maybe our friends knows that she's someone that likes to dress casually. You should just mention that. I had to wear proper trousers and a shirt. The lawyer's office was very big and modern, so it was extremely busy. People were just going in and out. So there's an a chance for her to create interest here, but she didn't do it. She just told us about many different things, what she has to wear and how the office was. But why should we care, or why should your friend care? Each day I had to help her organize her case files before she went to work, and I helped her look for evidence to take to help support her client. She took me to court with her as well. I was to listen quietly. The lawyer was very confident and in defending her points, and she didn't give up easily. She was also very patient when she didn't get her point across. So now this is actually very good detail. If there's someone that wants to know how lawyers work, this would be something that would really help you. But in the friendly letter, it doesn't really do much because it's just telling us, just giving us information. It's like informative writing. You understand? There is no personalization. There is no creating interest. There is no. She didn't use any idioms, even though she used contractions though. But that can be the only thing that will make a letter friendly. The overall tone has to be friendly, and what creates tone is the kind of words you use, the way you personalize and so on and so forth. Now, this can help me with my career plans because I would like to be an architect, and architects need to be confident and confidence. Wow, it should be wow, showing my designs to the clients. Also, it taught me how to be patient when I don't get everything my way. I hope they do this again next year. I really enjoyed it. Right, so there is adding support here, right? Because she gives reasons for why this is a good experience for her, but not in a way that you would tell it to a friend. So for all the detailed writing, for the explanations, she still got a good mark for content, but she would have gotten more in both criteria if she had written in a more friendly tone, used idioms, personalization, and so on and so forth. Now, Abdullah's letter is weak for different reasons. He tried to write like he was writing to a friend, but I remember warning you guys some time ago that your letters have to be as realistic as possible. They have to reflect your actual life. IGCSE wants what they call cultural awareness. They want to actually know about you a little. They want to have an experience of what their students' lives are like all over the world. So they know they have British students, they have Indian students, they have students in Nigeria, and they want to have a feel of what your experiences are. That's one. So when he was talking about going to Seattle and winning a prize of $5,000, that's already it's a bit unrealistic. It's not showing us anything about your actual life. And then etc in a letter, in any type of writing, is not advisable, right? So because of time, I won't read it, but I hope you can catch a glimpse of it when you're watching the video. So in our class today, after you've watched this video, I'm going to give you a different question, and you're going to write it for me, bearing in mind that you're writing to a friend. We have 1 hour. This video is about 15 minutes, so you have 45 minutes to plan and write your letter. So Chidozie and Toluwani are good examples. Bellucci's letter was also quite friendly, even though at some point he went off tangent. Maroon too would have written a good letter if he didn't spend time telling us what happened yesterday and what happened today, and details that are not really important. So please use these two as models. Don't write exactly like them. Write better. You can do better. I pointed out some of the weak points of this also. So I don't think they are the best, but they are most in line with what IGCSE wants to see. Right. So I'll post a question in our class chat. Plan and write and submit to